Welcome everyone to Grapevine's first ever keynote event, Redefining the Rules of Work. I'm Wright, the founder of Grapevine Software, your virtual office platform designed and developed specifically for how remote and hybrid teams work today and for tomorrow's future. Today, we're embarking on a journey to redefine how teams work. Whether you're here as a loyal customer, a potential partner, or simply curious about our platform, thank you so much for joining us. But I'm not here alone. Today, we have a list of great keynote speakers, including our very own Alex Kottoor. He's our founding advisor, and he's been here since day one. He's going to be discussing Grapevine as well as the state of the future of work. Then we have our friend Elle. Elle is an internal communications expert and knowledge management practitioner. And she's worked for a couple of companies I'm sure you've heard of, The Farmer's Dog and Lyft. And then we also have our very own Saad Shahid. He's our product and project manager who keeps the team driving towards innovation, creativity, and making sure that we meet our deadlines so we can get the product features and functionalities out to our customers. So stay tuned for that to come up. But this keynote is more than just a product update. It's about the future of work and how we as leaders and teams adapt to build workplaces that are more connected, inclusive, productive, and yes, flexible. Today, we'll take you through Grapevine's story, our journey so far, and some game-changing announcements that will transform how distributed teams operate. Are you ready to dive in? Let's get to it. To understand where we are today, we need to rewind and look at how Grapevine came into an existence. The idea of Grapevine started with the realization I had back in 2020, like so many of you. Remote work became a necessity, and while I love flexibility, I also saw cracks in the system. In traditional offices, we relied on physical proximity to bridge gaps. If you needed information, you could just walk over to a colleague's desk. If you wanted to align your team, you could call a quick meeting. But when we went remote, those gaps widened. Weren't built to fill them. Over the past decade, we've seen some incredible innovation in SaaS tools and technology. Every department got their own specialized solutions, which was great at first. Marketing had its tools, sales had theirs, HR had completely different ones. But as those tools proliferated, they created silos. Departments became disconnected from one another. Then, in 2020, the pandemic accelerated remote work. And while companies adapted quickly, they often did so by piecing together solutions, creating a patchwork of tools that added complexity instead of clarity. This exposed a deeper problem. We had seen work fundamentally change, but our tools haven't evolved to meet this new reality. And what we saw was two worlds colliding. On one side, you had decentralized SaaS tools that were designed for in-office workflows, to be honest. On the other hand, you had a distributed team working from home, co-working spaces, airports, and coffee shops. These two worlds were never designed to work together. And as a result, employees and companies started experiencing real pain points. In 2010s, SaaS tools revolutionized how teams worked, bringing flexibility and efficiency, but still in the office. And then by 2020, remote work exposed the inefficiencies in these fragmented systems. And by 2023, it was clear that companies needed something new, something built for distributed workforces, not just adapted to them. And that's when I decided to take the leap and build the office for the future with Grapevine. Let's talk about what this collision has meant for companies and employees. On average, employees spend 2.5 hours every day searching for information. That's over 10 hours a week. That could be spent solving problems, innovating, or connecting with colleagues. And it's not just about wasted time. Companies lose an estimated $10,000 per employee each year due to misaligned workflows and communication inefficiencies. When you multiply that across a workforce, the costs are staggering, not just in dollars, but in frustration, disengagement, and lost opportunities. This is the problem Grapevine sets out to solve: fragmented tools, scattered information, and disconnected teams. We're here to give employees a place to call home and give leaders the clarity they need to align their teams. Now that you heard where we came from, let's navigate to where we are today. But before we go there, let's hear from our founding advisor, Alex Kottoor, and get his take on Grapevine and the current state of the workplace. Alex, take it away.
Hey everybody, Alex Kottoor here, founding advisor here at Grapevine Software. I just wanted to, I'm literally gushing with excitement about all the things that are going to be coming out of Zach and his team here at Grapevine over these this next 12 months. We're super pumped here for 2025. A little bit of background about me. I started my career as a go-to-market and sales guy in tech. In 2010, I had the great privilege of co-founding and serving as a CEO of my first SaaS company, a company called SceneDoc that was based in Toronto. I suppose through a lot of hard work and iteration and failing and getting back up, we made it to the other side and we were successfully acquired in late 2018. Since then, I've had the great privilege of being part of a handful of other exits, all, sort of in the sphere of B2B SaaS. And it was actually in 2019, 2020, where it was like sort of post-exit, my second stint as a CRO, SVP, running a global sales organization at a company called Kumu, where I met Zach. He was part of my team, and I got to learn about remote work. I think there's many of us that had been home-based employees for a long time prior to COVID. COVID was really a rude awakening for many businesses, but it was certainly an awakening for us at Kumu because we had teams distributed all over the world. And prior to COVID, we were all in offices, right? We had offices in Burlingame, San Francisco. We were in London, England, Minneapolis, in Hyderabad, India. And we had people in all of these locations, obviously. And I remember our CEO took an amazingly huge decision to divest all of our real estate right smack dab in the middle of COVID. And because we were in the enterprise video space, helping Global 2000 executives use video at scale securely and both synchronously and asynchronously, it was a bit like eating our own dog food, where we went all in on video. And we divested all of our real estate, like I mentioned, and he'd coined this phrase like work from wherever, whenever, right? And with synchronous video and asynchronous video, we should be able to work sort of anywhere, right? And we should be able to work at any time. I mean, it really was like this redefinition of what work meant and how it got done. And I guess in there is where Zach, kind of thought there was better ways to do this, right? I would tell you that as an executive, it was really challenging at times just living in Zoom and figuring out how we were going to create engagement. How are we going to centralize information? How are we going to share information and create alignment? And then above all of that, how do we make all of this still fun while we were all in different parts of the world now working largely remotely, right? Whether it was shared office spaces or coffee shops or in our basements or in our living rooms, like we had to make a radical bet on how we were going to drive the business forward in a really unique time. And so that's why I'm so excited about what Grapevine promises to small businesses and small or mid-sized enterprises. Like the amount of time that employees spend on finding information, like that needs to become simpler. The way that most executives share information, like email, Slack, and nothing against Slack, but like these messaging platforms, they're pretty boring, and they're congested, and there's a lot of noise on them, and I think a lot of people are getting frustrated there too. So there's got to be better ways for executives to communicate, for employees to engage with each other in like a modern and fun way. And that is like the two big things I personally get from Grapevine, and what I see Zach and his team building at Grapevine is this like much better way to centralize all things communication, right? Centralizing where video is, centralizing where we engage each other, centralizing how we get to know one another in these sort of virtual, remote, hybrid, or distributed environments. Like that to me is what gets me super excited. And he's just getting started. This team is just getting started. I know that we've onboarded a couple of customers in 24. So I know Zach and his team are feverishly learning from these customers. 2025, I am just like super pumped for what's coming ahead, not just in the product roadmap, but applying the learning that we had in the tail end of 24 into like what these next 12 months are really going to look like here at Grapevine. So anyway, with all that said, stay tuned. I hope it becomes a great session that everybody has today. And I'm so honored to be here. And I look forward to really helping Zach redefine the way that work is being done and how it's done and how we all still have fun in an inclusive way wherever we are. And I think sky's the limit for a startup like Grapevine. So upwards and onwards, here we go.
Thank you so much for that, Alex. We are extremely excited and proud to have you as our founding advisor. We've already been through so much, and you've already helped us in many areas that you probably don't even know of. So thank you so much again. And we can't be more excited for what 2025 holds for Grapevine and our customers. Now let's switch gears. We talked about where we've come from, but let's talk about how we got to where we are today. Grapevine started as an idea in March 2023. By April, we began validating the idea, testing our UI UX designs and the concept of a virtual office platform. Was it something that customers really wanted? Was it solving a real problem? And by July, we wrote our first line of code for the platform. Then in August, we proudly announced Grapevine to the world on LinkedIn and our other socials. In Q1 of 2024, we launched our beta program, inviting early adopters to test the platform and provide feedback. Their insights were invaluable, helping us refine Grapevine and prepare for our launch in June. By Q2, we entered phase 2 of our development, focusing on making Grapevine smarter, faster, and more intuitive and into our era of productivity and information management. And in Q4, we hit a huge milestone, welcoming our first paying customers. This has been an incredible, somewhat longer than expected, but incredible journey. And it wouldn't have been possible without the support of our team, our beta testers, and our current early customers. There are two big shout outs I have to celebrate here: Saad and Umair. They have basically been with us since day one. Their hard work, dedication, and endless pursuit to achieve our vision cannot be overlooked. I can honestly say, without them, we would not be where we are today with our platform. And to everyone else, all of you, thank you for believing in our mission and helping us make Grapevine what it is today. But this is just the beginning. Grapevine has come a long way, but we're not stopping here. In this next section, we'll share some exciting updates that will redefine how teams communicate, collaborate, connect, and culture. Yes, I said that grammatically incorrect on purpose. And we'll give you a sneak peek of what's coming in 2025. But before we go there, let's hear from Elle.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elle Wittstruck, and for the last 9 years, I've specialized in internal communications and knowledge management for teams in the tech and startup world, most notably for Lyft and the Farmer's Dog. Throughout my career, I've worked to solve many of the same challenges that Grapevine is tackling today, making communication accessible, seamless, and meaningful to the teams who need it the most. I joined Lyft's Trust and Safety team in 2016, and at that time, the email and SMS templates we'd send to drivers and passengers had some opportunities to feel more human and empathetic. The team also had some written resources for handling conversations, but they weren't always easy to find, especially for our newer folks. So after discussing this with leadership, I was entrusted to reimagine the existing templates, crafting a set that better reflected our values and resonated with users. Alongside this, I revamped the team's email newsletter, adding branded design elements, sharing crowdsourced tips for user conversations, and linking out to resources to help in those moments. From ideation to implementation, this work was tedious, and it took about a month, but the positive feedback made it clear that we were moving in the right direction. So with this in mind, we started sending the updated newsletter to other teams within Lyft and to our international safety partner sites, growing our newsletter engagement from about 50 readers to over 1,200 readers on average per newsletter. So if I had Grapevine during this time, we could have housed all of these tools in one centralized system, making them easier to find and instantly actionable. This would have saved us countless hours and empowered new team members to contribute more confidently from day one. When I moved to the Farmer's Dog in 2020, there were similar growing pains to the ones at Lyft. The customer experience team was full of talented and passionate people who truly wanted to do their best to support dog owners, but the lack of a central hub for resources and product updates often resulted in clunky workflows and lots of time spent searching for resources in multiple platforms. So when I started the internal communications team there, my first project was to plan and execute the migration of this fragmented knowledge system into a unified and on-brand knowledge and communications hub, and to cultivate the space for the team to connect and collaborate with their peers. This work was another hefty labor of love, and it took a little bit over 2 months to build and roll out, including multiple days just dedicated to testing hacks and workarounds to mold that platform's functionality to fit our vision. But by moving all of the relevant content into the new platform, the CX team of over 200 people no longer needed user seats for the other platforms, saving the company over $40,000 per year. Grapevine Spaces could have brought this vision to life significantly faster and more effectively. With its built-in tools for training, project details, and resource sharing, we could have avoided workarounds and multiple app explorations anytime we needed something and focused on empowering the team sooner. Grapevine's external sharing capabilities would have also been invaluable for aligning with partners and customers. So even though I got pretty good at being scrappy and improving our resources just with the tools available, it was undeniable that I spent a lot of time on those hacks and bespoke elements to make up for functionality that other platforms lacked. And when I learned about Grapevine and how it centralizes communication and knowledge management tools in such a streamlined and intuitive way, I had quite a bit of retroactive FOMO. At Lyft, it would have been much easier to house those communication templates, conversation tips, and newsletters in the same platform like Grapevine offers, instead of us needing to switch back and forth. And at the Farmer's Dog, I wouldn't have needed to spend so much time building each element block by block, because Grapevine already offers the key functionalities that I wanted right out of the box, including custom branding for team pages, personalized user profiles, real-time communication, and intuitive search features. Grapevine's information hub would have also been particularly transformative, allowing us to turn any resource, whether it be a chat, a document, or an update, into a searchable, shareable, and savable file. This seamless functionality would have saved significant time and ensured that knowledge was always at our fingertips. So in a nutshell, thinking of some of those challenges that I faced in past roles, Grapevine would have been a game changer. Its ability to centralize knowledge and communications, streamline collaboration, and adapt to the unique needs of growing organizations is exactly what teams need to stay agile and aligned. It's also exciting to think about how teams could achieve truly impactful results, like growing team member engagement and confidence, or greatly reducing costs by removing the need for extra user seats across redundant platforms, but with way less time and effort. Grapevine doesn't just solve the problems that I encountered, it redefines how teams work together. With Grapevine, organizations have the tools that they need to communicate, collaborate, and grow, all within a single powerful platform.
The way my body's moving to the beat.
Thank you so much, Ellie. We really appreciate you being here today and sharing your experience at the Farmer's Dog and Lyft and talking a little bit about the future of work. Now let's transition to why companies choose Grapevine by looking at some of the customers that we've been able to adopt over this past year. The first one is discussing disconnected workforces. A big challenge that organizations face, especially in distributed workforces, is disconnection. When employees are spread across time zones, offices, and remote setups, it's easy for them to feel isolated. They miss those casual interactions that build relationships and morale. Even with video calls and messaging tools, it can feel like something's still missing. But this is where Grapevine excels. We don't just focus on communication. We focus on connection and building real relationships between coworkers. Our employee profiles blend professional details with personal ones, helping teammates connect beyond the work. And our company news feeds bring your organization together, keeping everyone aligned and engaged with your mission and cultural initiatives, no matter where they are or where they choose to work. Grapevine gives your workforce something more than just tools. It gives them a sense of belonging that many people say remote work misses until now. And that's why our customer chose us to help improve the connection of their employees. They wanted to make sure that as a 100% remote organization, they were able to keep their employees engaged, aligned, and connected more than just on the work level. So they really chose us for our employee profiles and directory to be able to tap into professional skills, previous experience, and even hobbies and interest. But now let's shift to customer number 2, who had the problem of scattered information. It's one of the most common frustrations we hear from organizations. Think about it for your own company for a moment. How many tools does your team rely on to communicate and share updates? Slack for messages, emails for announcements, SharePoint for files, Notion for project notes, and the list continues to go on and on and on. And what happens when your team needs something? They waste hours each week just searching for it. And that's if they find the information. This is exactly why our early customer turned to us. They were tired of juggling multiple tools and watching productivity slip through the cracks day over day, week over week, month over month. Grapevine changed that for them by providing a single centralized space for all their communication and knowledge. With features like our enhanced search sidebar, employees can instantly locate and save and share information they need, whether it's a document, a file, or an update. No wasted time, no unnecessary stress. Grapevine was definitely a smarter way for them to work. Now let's look at the last company that we'll talk about today. And their issue was silos and misalignment. As companies grow, it's natural for teams to gravitate towards their own tools and processes. As we mentioned earlier, marketing might be using one set of tools while engineering another, and leadership yet another to deliver updates to the board. This disjointed approach leads to misalignment, duplicative efforts, and delays cost, time, and money. Companies choose Grapevine because we eliminate these silos. Our platform centralizes communication, updates, and resources into one seamless platform. So everybody from leadership to the front lines operates with the same information. Leaders can communicate important updates clearly across their companies, and employees can access what they need when they actually need it. Grapevine ensures alignment at every level, breaking down barriers and helping teams move forward together. These challenges that we talk about, scattered information, disconnected teams, and organizational silos, are exactly why Grapevine was built. It's why our early adopter companies are choosing Grapevine to transform how they work as a remote or hybrid team. But we're not stopping here. Today, in a moment, we're excited to share some inspiring and major updates that will make Grapevine even more powerful for your distributed team. But before we dive into the main event of today, let's hear from our product and project manager, Saad Shahid.
Hey, this is Saad, project manager of Grapevine Software, a great SaaS idea that helps remote workers connect with each other no matter where they are around the world. So one of the most important things for me as a project manager is to have all my documents and files sorted out in a single place where I can access them anywhere, anytime. And that is exactly how Grapevine solves the problem. And one of the best things that I like about Grapevine is that no matter if your colleague is working remotely and you've never met them before, you can easily get to know about them by visiting their profiles and connect with them with just a single click in the chat. Even if they want to know about company policies, company events, important video documents, or even if they want to know about what benefits that the company offers, you can find everything in HR resources. And with many other features, I believe Grapevine Software is the future of remote work.
Now, let's move to the part that you've all been waiting for. What's new with Grapevine? Our team has been working tirelessly to make the platform more powerful for distributed teams like yours. Today, I'm excited to share some major updates that we believe will redefine how teams communicate, collaborate, connect, and culture. Before we dive into these details, let's take a moment to think about the common challenges teams face every day. Challenges we've talked about earlier. Wasted time searching for information, feeling disconnected from colleagues, and struggling to stay aligned across the globe. Every update we've made this year is designed to tackle these pain points head on. Let's take a look. First up, let's talk about one of the most requested features from our customers, the enhanced search sidebar. If there's one thing we hear over and over again, it's that teams need a better way to find information. And as we know, on average, employees spend 2.5 hours a day searching for files and updates. That's over 10 hours a week. Time that could be spent solving problems, innovating, or connecting with your colleagues. The search sidebar is your one-stop shop to finding everything you need: documents, people, notifications, posts, announcements, or files. It's intuitive, it's fast, and it uses filters to narrow down results instantly. No more clicking through endless tools or asking teammates where something is for the 5th time. With Grapevine, the information you need is always at your fingertips. Next, let's take a look at our Slack integration. We know some of you already use Slack to communicate with your teams, and we wanted to make sure Grapevine fits seamlessly into your existing flows. This integration ensures that important updates from Grapevine are automatically pushed into your Slack channels, so your team is always in the loop without switching between tools. This feature is perfect for distributed teams that want to stay aligned without adding more complexity to their day-to-day. It's communication simplified. We'll briefly touch on the basic analytics of employee engagement that we've brought into the platform itself. We wanted to have a way for organizations to be able to measure what's going on in their organization, from number of new employees that month to the percentage of connected coworkers or the level of engagement on each department. We will continue to go more granular as time continues and as we hear more feedback on what you are looking for as customers. Now, one of the most exciting updates we've made is to employee profiles. In distributed workforces, it's easy to feel disconnected from your colleagues. You might know their job title, but what about the person behind the role? That's where employee profiles come in, and we call it going beyond the squares. These profiles blend work information like job responsibilities, who you work with most, professional skills, with personal insights that help build stronger connections. Whether it's finding common interest or simply putting a face to a name, employee profiles are designed to bring your team closer together no matter where they're working. Our profiles are directly connected to your company's employee directory. Now you can leverage your employees' experience to the full potential. Looking for someone to help with a Salesforce issue? Search in the directory. Want to start a new space for a specific community? Search hobbies and interests in the directory. Looking for someone who used to work at Acme Company? You guessed it. Search the directory and tap into the full potential, experience, and interest of your employees. Let's move to FiggyChat, our real-time messaging tool. We know communication is at the heart of teamwork, but too often important context gets lost in endless chat threads. FiggyChat solves that problem by anchoring conversations in their context, so you can quickly refer back to what matters, whether it's a project update, a file, or a team decision. This means no more scrolling through miles of messages to find that one critical piece of information. FiggyChat keeps your team focused and productive. And finally, let's talk about staying on track. One of the most valuable features that we've added and introduced is daily email summaries. These personalized updates give every team member a snapshot of what they need to know, key announcements, Figgy chats that they might have missed, and upcoming company events, all delivered directly to their inbox. This feature is perfect for distributed teams juggling different time zones and schedules. No matter where your team is, Grapevine ensures everyone starts their day on the same page. These updates are more than just new features. They're solutions to the challenges we've been talking about all along. Whether it's finding information faster, staying connected, or keeping your team aligned, Grapevine is here to simplify your work and make your team stronger. And the best part, every feature we discussed today is available starting right now. If you're already a Grapevine user, these updates are being rolled out as we speak. And if you're new to Grapevine, there's never been a better time to get started. But we're not done yet. While we're incredibly proud of what Grapevine is today, we're even more excited about what's coming next. In our next and last segment of the event, we'll share a sneak peek at our roadmap for Q1 2025, including 2 groundbreaking features that we think will redefine how teams collaborate. Let's go ahead and take a look. Team, redefining the rules of work. It's happening this year, 2025. We got to bring the energy, right? We're about to show. You're our mascot. Come on. We need more energy from you. The people, they need to understand the value. This is come on. We need you, girl. You gotta bring the energy. We're about to, it's the main information hub, Spaces. Come on. And now we've arrived at the most exciting part of today's keynote. What's next for Grapevine? We've talked about how Grapevine is already transforming communication, collaboration, and connection for distributed teams. But we're just getting started. Let me introduce 2 groundbreaking additions to our platform that will take everything to the next level: Grapevine Spaces and the Information Hub. First, let's talk about Grapevine Spaces. Think of it as the perfect blend between Notion and SharePoint, brought directly into the heart of where your team communicates. Grapevine Spaces enables individual users to create their own documents or allow teams to build collaborative knowledge clusters. Whether it's project tracking, training materials, enablement guides, or internal policies, Spaces adapts to meet your team's needs. The possibilities are truly endless. But what truly sets Spaces apart is its flexibility. It's built for both internal and external use, perfect for centralizing policies within your team, aligning on a project detail with customers, or sharing key information with partners, whether it's for brainstorming organizing critical workflows, or ensuring alignment across your network, Grapevine Spaces is designed to bring clarity and efficiency to your team. Next, let's look at the Information Hub. This feature is your solution to scattered information and siloed tools. The Information Hub acts as a central repository where files, documents, and much more can be transformed into searchable, savable, and shareable resources. Imagine turning a conversation in Figgy Chat or a project update from Spaces into a fully searchable document with just one click. With the Information Hub, your team no longer has to waste hours searching for what they need. Everything, every update, every document is easily accessible, ensuring that your team can focus on what really matters, driving results and staying aligned. Together, Grapevine Spaces and the Information Hub represents the future of work. These aren't just tools, they're an ecosystem designed to bring communication, collaboration, and knowledge management together into one seamless experience. The best part, both features will roll out this quarter, Q1 2025, and we can't wait for you to experience them. Whether you're building smarter workflows, centralizing critical information, or aligning your team and partners, Grapevine Spaces and the Information Hub are here to help you thrive in the workplace of tomorrow. Thank you so much for being a participant in our first ever keynote, Redefining the Rules of Work. So now the choice is up to you. Do you want to work in the office of yesterday or get started with the office of the future with Grapevine?